Hey Soul Sparklers, it's all happening.
With a soul sparkle, soul sparkle. With a soul sparkle, soul sparkle.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Soul Sparkle Living Show. So excited to be with you today for the first solo episode in this series. I am celebrating something pretty significant, and that is the upcoming 10-year anniversary of Soul Sparkle Living. And so I thought today I would share my top 10 list for things that I have learned after this decade of sparkling. So I just took a minute to jot them down. It was a really quick list, but I thought some of you that have been on this journey with me for a while, may be curious, like, what are the things that are the most important lessons that I've learned or things that I'm taking away from this first decade in business? And the first one is that you cannot be afraid to try new things. Fear, I think, is the one thing that holds back so many people from living their version of a soul sparkling life, whatever that may look like for them. I think that there's a fear of failure. There's a fear of looking silly in front of your friends or something not working. And I will say that going after big dreams is one of the bravest things that you will ever do in your whole life. And the truth is that even if it doesn't work out, or even if it doesn't work out the way you thought it might or hoped it would, things always do work out for you. And maybe it's a lesson, maybe it's a variation of the dream. And maybe you just learn the thing that you were meant to learn and you move on to the next thing. And sometimes we have to be brave enough to grieve the dream to begin a new one. And you just can't be afraid, right? So the other thing too, I would say on that is that fear and love cannot exist on the same frequency. So you either are operating from a state or a place of fear, or you're operating from the frequency of love. And I don't know about you, but that is the vibe. The frequency of love is the vibe that we're meant to be creating from and living from and loving from. So the first thing on the top 10 list is you cannot be afraid to try new things, and going after your dreams takes a courage that you may not even realize that you had. So keep going. Okay, number 2. I rarely spend time or energy on what anyone else is doing. It's very easy on these internet streets and in the social media world to watch other people or see what they're creating or see what they're doing. And sometimes if you're not strong enough yet in your own message or your own magic or your own mission, really, it's easy to look around and see, well, what else is everyone else doing? And I will say that is the first step to watering down the truth of who you are. It's the first step to seek outside validation and approval and everything else, which is basically what we're taught to do from a young age, right? So the name of the game, I think, is to really, really focus on your own inner calling, your own inner passions. What are you most excited about? And being true to that voice, and not, as much as you can, do not pay attention to what anyone else is doing. And honestly, what anyone else is telling you to do. So for example, for me, every time I started to think, oh, well, maybe I should ask someone's advice, or I should. That's also a key. If you start saying you should do something, you really probably ought to check it and make sure that you're not outsourcing your validation and ideas. And not to say that there's not time for wise counsel. So that's not what I'm saying. But I think when it comes from a place of uncertainty, the truth is you already know. At the roots of the truth, you already know what you know. And when you listen to your inner wisdom and inner guidance and your intuition, you are much less likely to seek outside of yourself for feedback, for anything that might make you question what it is that you're creating, and trust your inner knowing. Okay? Trust your inner knowing. It's so important. Because I think for me, that's what has kept me much more in alignment and much less confused, right? So making sure that you're listening to your inner guidance and your inner voice and not listening to everyone else is going to be a really, really healthy and beneficial way to move forward in your business, in your life, in everything, really. The third thing is that the way that I have navigated this last decade is share my stories, share the stories of my life, and share the journey that I've been on and also the dreams that I've had and made manifest. And I think there is something so compelling for those of us that are, doing life a little differently, being willing to share the stories, not only the good stuff, but the crazy stuff and the not so good things as well. And we all go through seasons. I know in the last 10 years, there have been incredible highs and incredible lows and major seasons of sparkle and also seasons of reflection or of sadness or whatever else shows up in the day to day operations of your life. And so being willing to share those stories, and my sweet friend April tells me this all the time. She says, "You've got such incredible stories to tell, just share them." So I would just encourage you to spend time really thinking about the stories of your life and the reasons why you've had to go through the things that you've gone through and the way that you could maybe share them to serve and be of benefit to others. And I'm not saying you have to share it right in the middle of everything, right? I usually take the time to integrate or get on the other side of a thing before I really talk a lot about it. But I also know that things show up in our life for a reason. And when we are willing to use them as a way of serving others, it almost makes it make a little more sense to me, at least. And sometimes, the messes become the message and turn into the magic. And we have to trust that sometimes we have to go through things in our lives in order to make them beneficial in some way, because it also, I think, helps the healing of whatever the things that are going on. So the bottom line is share your stories in a way that feels comfortable for you and know that things happen to you for a reason, and share the dreams and share the visions at the appointed time with people so that they can be on the bus with you. They can be on the journey with you. And I think that's been one of the most beautiful things I've experienced in the last 10 years is that as I have shown up and shared my journey and stories, etc., I've never had one person say anything other than, "Wow, we're so excited for you, so happy for you, what you're doing, what you're creating. Can't wait to hear the next thing." Like, there's just been such a beautiful outpouring of support. And I think a lot of times we think, well, maybe I shouldn't share all the things because what will they think? And the truth is, most people that you want in your world are going to think it's awesome and they're going to support you and they're going to cheer for you and, yeah, celebrate with you when you're celebrating and, you know, love on you when you're not. To me, that's just a huge blessing that we've been given through social media in order to show up and share in a really beautiful and authentic way. Okay, number 4, let's see. You will grow and change so much year to year. You must be willing to grieve and let go of old versions of yourself, your life, and your work. Okay, so this is a big one. And we all know that as we go through these seasons of our lives, we can become entirely different versions of ourselves, different dreams, and different things happen and change us. And we need to be willing to release and let go that which no longer serves, like old versions of ourselves, old ways of thinking and being and speaking sometimes, as we shift our entire energetic body and physical body, we are becoming more light. We're becoming a higher frequency and a higher vibration. So the things that used to resonate with you, people, places, offers, ideas may shift and change over time and they may become irrelevant. And you have to be really okay with letting those things go, letting those people go, those places that don't fuel you in the way that you, or that they don't make you feel the way you want to feel, being willing to release them and send them off with love. And sometimes there is a grief that comes with that. I know I've experienced that myself. And when, people come in and out of your life or something that you were super passionate about at one point changes, you have to be willing to send it with love and bless it and release it, because that's what's going to make space for the new things to come in. And that's also super exciting. So, number 5, follow your highest excitement. So, this one, I would say for me, has been one of the fundamental concepts and constructs that I have held to for the last 10 years. And it doesn't hurt that I'm excited about a lot of things. However, when you wake up every day and you ask in whatever way you do, whether it's in your meditation, in your prayer, in your quiet time, you're asking God, Holy Spirit, whatever it is that you connect to, asking what is the most exciting thing I can do today? How can I serve today in the highest and best? And then listening for the thing that lights you up. And I will tell you that if you follow that thing, whatever that is, as many days as you can for the rest of your life, to me, that is the way we stay not only the most aligned with divine inspiration and the calling that we're meant to answer, but also it makes us the most magnetic, the most effervescent, if you will. And when I talk about living a soul sparkling life, to me, that's part of it. It's part of this energy, this frequency that you embody that makes people want to be around you, that makes you light up rooms that you walk into because you are just so excited about all the things that you can't help but draw people into you. And maybe they're clients, maybe they're partners, relationships, collaborations, whatever it is. That is the thing that for me personally, and for the hundreds of and somewhat thousands of women that I've worked with over the years, it's really the secret sauce to creating. And this goes back to listening to the truth that is within you, not paying attention to what other people are doing, really focus on what lights you up, what makes your soul sparkle, and going for it. Because to me, those hits of inspiration that are the most exciting things are God's little notes, love notes to us for the things that we're meant to do. So follow your highest excitement. Okay. Number 6. At the end of the day, we are here to love each other and serve the divine, be in service to the divine. So for me, it's been what are the ways that I can use the gifts and the talents and the experience and the mess that have had in my life? How can I create and serve in a way that will be of highest benefit to humanity? That has just been my personal path. Now, we all have different callings. None of them look the same. We're all meant to do different things, and different gifts are given to us and talents for that reason. And so, what we want to make sure that we're doing is using all of those in service to humanity as much as we can, day in and day out. And so, whatever that looks like for you. And like I said, it could be different types of work. It could be you're raising a family. It could be you serving your community. It could look different for anyone, and all of us have a different path to getting there. But we are here at the end of the day to love each other. That's the bottom line. So the more that you can embody love, and for those of you that know Hawkins scale of consciousness, it's like there's love or above. So when you vibrate at a frequency of love or above, you're actually impacting 750,000 people, I think is the number around you. Okay, so number 7, take the chance. And maybe that's booking a flight, writing a book, agreeing to speak on a stage that scares you. Taking the chance to do big things always, always, always leads to something great. Whether that just means an expansion in your own way of feeling, whether it's more confidence or more joy or more grace. But I would say every single time that I have said yes to something that is a little uncomfortable, I have grown, I've expanded, I've met incredible people, whether that is showing up at an event or hosting a retreat somewhere fabulous in the world, or, saying yes to the interview or the speaking engagement. There's always something that comes out of saying yes and taking the chance. So, next, number 8 is never regretting loving people too much. So, for those of you that know me, I'm a lot of Scorpio. So I'm intense and I'm passionate and I'm loyal and I love people. I love my people. And one of the things that I remember when I was in my corporate job before I started this 10-year adventure of sparkling around the world, one of the things that really the only feedback that I ever got was that you love your people too much. And I just think that life is too short not to love your people too much. And there's no such thing as too much, in my opinion. So love them big, be loyal, find the people that support you, hold on to them, take care of them, okay? And support them and show up for them in the way that you would want them to do for you. And let me tell you that this journey, being an entrepreneur and being on your own, it can be lonely, it can be isolating. But I have really tried to cultivate the depth of connection with a small group of people that have journeyed with me this whole time, almost the whole time. And they have been my greatest fans and biggest cheerleaders and wisest counsel. So I encourage you to find your people and love them and take good care of those relationships because they will get you through the highs and celebrate with you and hold your hand in the other times. So, okay, let's see. Number 9, believe that things always work out for you. So this is something that I started working with really at the almost beginning of my Soul Sparkle journey, 10 years ago. And there was this mantra that I would say over and over and over, and it was that things always work out for me. Things always work out for me. I love how things always work out for me. And sometimes I had to say it over and over and over until it actually started to shift my state, right? Like I remember one time I showed up at an airport in San Diego and I had booked a flight for the wrong day. And I thought I was flying that day. I had booked a ticket for the next day. And I just started saying that. I was like, well, that's interesting because things always work out for me. Things always work out for me. I love how things always work out for me. And it almost allows you to open up your possibility instead of contracting in like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It just opens up this world of possibility that allows you to stay almost in the inquiry versus in the judgment. And so your mind opens up to what's possible instead of contracting around what is happening in the current reality. So that would be something I'd encourage all of you that are listening to do if you don't already have this as a practice. And I would just say it over and over. I love how things always work out for me. Wow, things always work out for me. And you can even go deeper into it and be like, I always meet the right people, the right opportunities always show up for me on time. I'm always supported. I'm always loved. Things always work out for me. And I love how things always work out for me, always in all ways, because things do always work out for you. And even if it doesn't look like the way you want it to, at the end of the day, what is meant for you will never miss you. And just trust that things always work out for you. Okay. And number 10, you are so much braver and stronger and smarter than you think. And it's easy to get caught up in, again, what other people are doing or what's going on online or the latest thing that everyone's talking about. But let me tell you, when you focus and stay on your path and do the thing that you're meant to do, and you do it bravely and boldly and courageously, there's really nothing you can't do. It's really extraordinary what is possible when you believe in yourself and you are willing to do big things. And sometimes we question our capability, our confidence can get rattled from time to time. And I mean, I know mine has over the last 10 years. And so I just keep coming back to the fact that, wow, I do big things. I do brave things. And it's really funny because sometimes I'll share with one of my friends, I'll be like, oh my God, I feel so brave today. It's so crazy that I'm doing this. Inevitably, she comes back and says, I've watched you do brave things for over a decade now. And so this is no big deal. It's really no big deal. All right. You've always done brave things. And so if you think about it in your own life, you have also probably always done brave things. It just hasn't seemed brave to you. But I will tell you that other people are watching you, the way you do your life. And it's funny, my mom used to always tell me that someone's always watching. Someone's always watching what you're doing, and they're watching the way you handle things and how kind you are, or how gracious you are, or how loving you handle a situation. And I think that we are all so much braver and so much more loving and so much more kind than we give ourselves credit for. And so I would end with this last thing that I've used over the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years that has really, really helped guide the decisions and choices that I've made. And it's a question: what is the most loving thing that I can do for myself right now? What's the most loving thing I can do for myself? It's not what so and so would want me to do or what's in the highest and best for them. It's what is in the highest and best and the most loving choice that I can make for myself right now. And I will tell you that if you guide the decisions and choices that you make over time with that as the end goal, then imagine how much more happy and fulfilled and loved you will feel, and how much more honoring you'll be to yourself. And it's not about what everyone else is doing or thinking or wanting from you or for you. It's what's the most loving choice that you can make for yourself today. So I hope these are helpful. Again, that's consolidating like 10 years of stuff into 10 points, but I really wanted to kind of anchor some of these in because they've been so important to me for my journey and expansion and transformation, because that's truly what this has been, a journey of not only my own personal transformation, but watching women transform before my eyes all these years has been one of the most beautiful and incredible gifts. And I will always be so thankful for the work that I get to do in the world, for the women that have joined me on the path, wherever it has been, Paris, Mallorca, Peru, Morocco, Italy, France, everywhere, Spain. So thank you for tuning in to this episode. And I hope that you are enjoying the others that we are creating for you. I love the guests that we've had so far, and I've got a whole lineup for the fall of some other phenomenal humans that hopefully will be of benefit to you as well, as we have these just real and raw conversations for what we feel creates a soul sparkling life. And if you have questions, if you need support, if you want to join me somewhere in the world, I've got some really incredible things that are coming. And as we move into, Soul Sparkle, I want to say 2.0, but it's really like 7.0 for this next 10 years. I am beyond excited for what is coming, for what's unfolding, for all the things that are being created behind the scenes right now that will soon be out in the world. So thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here on the journey. It's an absolute blessing to me every single day to be on this great adventure with you. So thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.
With the soul sparkle.